Good. All right, we're here. All right. Today's date is April 3rd, 2020. I am here with, who am I here with?
Maria Bush.
Maria Bush. And where are you from, Maria Bush?
I reside in Newark, Ohio.
Newark, Ohio. And this is actually my mom that we are speaking to. So I think I haven't used that word or that name, Maria Bush, in a long time. So no disrespect on that. But
What's my name?
but
What would you call me?
what's what's your occupation?
I am an assistant supervisor for a company called Tech International.
Tech International. And is that, I guess, would that be considered an essential job? I guess what we call an
It is
essential job today.
considered it is considered an essential business, basically because we make tire repair patches, rubber tire repair patches, a lot of uh, other rubber products also,
Mhm.
and we do support the transportation industry.
Okay.
And right now, that's basically one of the biggest ones is the transportation industry.
Okay.
Uh,
Nice.
People are going to continue to get flat tires, so we continue to make rubber patches.
Okay. Um, I guess since being in Ohio, what are some of the regulations that the governor has implemented while in this crisis?
Right now, there is a stay-at-home order for any non-essential workers.
Mhm.
They do, uh, they do promote a lot of the social distancing. Um, a lot of the big one is, like a lot of companies right now, or I should say, the company I work for is basically looking out for a lot of the employees because we are an essential business. They do tell us, if you feel like you're running a fever, stay home. They do suggest that we do take our temperatures before we go into work,
Mhm.
which I have been doing actually, just because of the fact that, no, I don't want to get sick and I don't want to get anybody else sick either.
Mhm.
Um, I don't want to create that domino effect.
Okay.
Because it's not, it is a somewhat large company, but it's not like in the scope of, like, let's say Goodyear and Michelin or anything like that. No,
Essentially,
it's a smaller company.
essentially almost like a Fortune 500 company. It's not at that scale.
Right.
Okay.
It's not that at that point. They do have businesses, and this is what kind of really scared me at first, because when I first started seeing the interview, the interviews and stuff on television, on the news and everything, when this virus did start breaking out. Tech International does have a factory in Wuhan, China.
Oh,
So they were basically at ground zero.
oh wow.
Um, once they found out, once it started, it was getting to the point where it was really bad.
Uh-huh.
They stopped all international flying because they do, we have a lot of engineers that go over there.
Uh-huh.
Um, I mean, I can only imagine what they're thinking.
Yeah. Hmm.
They just come from ground zero, and here, you're having to come back. I haven't heard anything of that, anybody being sick or anything like
Okay.
that at our company. But like I said, they're trying to promote, good hygiene, which everybody should already know.
Yeah.
Uh, but they supplied us with what we need. We don't need face masks because we basically try to do the social distancing, because my department is so small that it's easy to do that.
Mhm.
Uh, Hand sanitizer, if we need it, it's there. Rubber gloves are there if we need them. Stuff like that. Which is basically right now, that's our PPE.
Yeah.
We've got, and And I've tried to stress to a lot of people, use your common sense. It's basically all it takes is common sense. You're going home, you're dirty, you've been out here. Leave your shoes in the car. Leave your shoes outside. Don't take your shoes inside. Don't take your purse inside. The first thing I do when I come inside, I actually take my shoes off in the car, put on my garden shoes. Let's see, garden shoes. I put those on and I come home. I don't touch anything except for the doorknob. Everything. I go downstairs to the basement. I strip. I leave my, whatever I go take a shower and I, just wash off, clean. And then after that, I start cleaning doorknobs or anything else that I might have touched. And, here I go with the spray bottle, but it takes, like I said, it's common sense. So, other than that, they've, that's what they've stressed is a lot of, social distancing, the stay-at-home order, because it was just like everybody everywhere else. It was, getting crazy. People were panicking. But then you have a lot of these people that were saying, oh, yeah, no, it's like a cold, or it's like the flu.
Yeah.
The flu kills so many people a year. But the flu's preventative.
Yeah.
This isn't. And that's what people need to realize, this isn't preventative. You can't prevent this from happening. If it happens, it's going to happen.
Yeah.
And, the severity is I think, a little bit more drastic.
Okay.
Because it can actually, it's happening to more and more people.
Okay.
But they've, it's like the governor and another his advisor, the medical advisor. Her name is Dr. Amy Acton. I think it's Acton. They do daily updates, and you can see them on YouTube and everything, or on Facebook. And it's funny because people are actually saying, oh yeah, let's have some wine with DeWine because it's Governor Mike DeWine. And so it's called Wine with DeWine and Snacks with, or I can't remember, something with Acton. And it's funny, but yeah, it's, if only people would listen.
Yeah.
That's the thing. That's the biggest problem that they're having, is that people are just not taking it as serious as you might. You probably should. But yeah, I go to the store, get what I'm going to get, and I'm home again.
Yeah.
And I tell Dad, it's like, I don't keep away from people, don't talk to anybody. I just get what I'm going. I, like wipe down the whole freaking entire cart, basically. And yeah, that's it.
Okay.
Nice.
I guess as far as, well, actually, let me stop it now and then I'll start part 2 here in a second. Okay. My next question was going to be like, well, you already talked about, some of the precautions that you've taken, of course, wiping down the carts, the pretty much disrobing the clothes that you've worn that day, essentially, and then pretty much cleaning the house. What are some of the, what are some of the observations that you're making while in Ohio? Like, if you have to go out to the store, what do you see, or what do you see people doing out in the streets? Like, essentially what I'm asking is, what is now the norm for people where it wasn't the norm?
Somebody talking to their neighbor, and he's basically on the other side of his property. It's pretty funny, and it's like, yeah, you say, hey, how's it going? But you can stay right there, just, yeah, don't get any closer.
Yeah.
I've seen that, people I guess they're trying to maintain, some kind of normalcy.
Mm-hmm.
They go for walks and stuff like that. Kids will go out and play, in their yards and stuff. Basically, that's it.
Okay.
If you leave the neighborhood and you go to, let's say you want to go down the street to, go to a thrift store, thrift stores are all closed because they're non-essential.
Mm-hmm.
Um, uh, I did find out though that liquor stores are essential,
Yeah.
which I thought was hilarious.
Uh-huh.
And you just, everything's so much more different. Coming home,
Mm-hmm.
coming home from work, there's no traffic.
Okay.
I can actually ride all the way home from Johnstown to Newark, and it takes me 25 minutes to get, to and from work. And I won't see another car.
Oh wow. Okay.
That's the biggest difference. I won't see another car. I might see a couple of semis that are on the road.
Uh-huh.
But like the only cars I might actually see are the people that work with me at
Okay.
Tech that come to Newark.
Okay.
That'll be it.
Okay.
Yeah. And that's creepy.
Yeah.
It is creepy, because I'm used to seeing traffic even at 1:30, 2:30 in the morning when I come home. I'm used to seeing more cars, and now it's not like that.
Mm-hmm.
There's
Okay.
not that traffic anymore. Even going to work sometimes,
Okay.
and that's the big difference for me.
Okay.
But yeah, I've seen people with their masks on, their gloves. And actually, I had that conversation with Dad today, because I saw a lady go into Lowe's. They went into Lowe's and she's wearing her, her mask and her gloves. And I'm looking at her, I'm looking at her and I said, well, lady, you know that if you buy something, you're going to have to change those gloves.
Mm-hmm.
You touch anything in that store, you have to change your gloves.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people aren't thinking like that. They don't, they think that, they're protected because they have those gloves on, and and they don't realize that if you don't use those gloves properly, they're not going to do you any good.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, they're doing that whole thing with one cart, one person. If you go into the store, only one person, no kids in the store.
Okay. Oh, okay.
Under 16, yeah.
Now, is that for all stores, or is it just like, or some stores just implementing that?
Some stores are implementing that, and basically
Okay.
because of your NERC Walmart shoppers. They love taking the whole family. It's like that's their like little family vacation or something, and it's like, no, you're not supposed to be here.
Yeah. Okay.
They want to take them browsing all over the place, and it's like, no, why are you doing this? And it's just it's mind-boggling,
Yeah.
It really, to think that they're still not taking it seriously.
Yeah.
Or going to Lowe's and taking your kids in there. You don't need to take your kids in there.
Yeah.
You have all these construction workers that go in there, and you don't know where they've been.
Yeah.
And I think that's the scary thing for me.
Yeah.
Is that now you think, that's that first thing that comes, into your mind. I don't know where he's been.
Yeah.
Or I don't know where she's been. I don't know what they're doing.
Yeah.
They could be sick, and here I am standing right next to them.
Yeah.
And I think that's a sad mindset.
Yeah.
I mean, it's sad, but you have to think like that.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Dad, I guess since Dad, he does have his appointments at the VA there in Columbus. What are some like I don't know if you guys have been there lately or what. Is there like
We
are there
were
what kind of precautions are they taking since the majority of the veterans there are essentially the senior citizen community?
right.
So what are some of the precautions
Um,
they're taking that you
the
observed?
last time we went, the
Mhm.
last time we went, and this is, I'm March 12th.
Okay, so this is pretty much
He,
like
uh,
the beginning
he,
of everything
yeah,
going on. Okay.
um, he had his colonoscopy scheduled then. And I thought it was really weird, but but we got there. It was scheduled for 8 o'clock, but we were there at 7 because he had to, they had to prep him and everything.
Hmm.
And then I noticed that one of the doors was actually closed. They didn't, you had to go through another one. Well, they had everything cordoned off so that you had to go through and talk to like the nurse there. And yeah, at first I think they asked us, are you sick, do you have a fever, are you coughing? And we were kind of like, no, we're not, we're good. We told them why we were there and stuff, and they're like, oh, okay. So that was it.
Hmm.
And but from what I understand now, it's only if it's like absolutely necessary that you go in.
Okay.
Uh, they've tried to, you can't take anybody with you.
Okay.
Only the person that is going for the appointment can be there with them, So, uh, luckily, Dad doesn't have to go to Columbus anymore for his eyes because usually, they dilate his eyes. Every time he goes to get his eyes checked, they have to dilate them.
Hmm.
And he can't see after that.
No.
The good thing is that he can go here in Newark to the VA, and they'll actually, that's when they do that here. But yeah, from what I've heard, they're trying to take more precautions and stuff
Okay.
like that. Only if it's absolutely necessary. And like you said, a lot of the veterans that go there are the majority are seniors.
Hmm.
They're some of them are well into their 80s and
Yeah.
90s. And unfortunately, a lot of them have, their caregivers or, their relatives going in there with them. But no, I think we've been lucky enough that we haven't had to go anymore.
Yeah.
Not yet, at least.
Okay.
Um,
Well, that's good. All right, here we go. All right, had to do it again. Okay. I guess for you, since you are a mother, you do have, of course, all of us are grown up. We're all adults here, but of course, you have grandchildren, that are essentially almost all over the place, in age range. Essentially, like what is, I guess, for that as a grandparent, as a parent, what is the hardest thing you can't, or what's the hardest thing that you can't do right now for for yourself?
what's the hardest thing that I can't do for myself is being able to go and see them whenever I can. I I was dreading this question, and I
I
knew
know.
probably you would ask it. Um, and it's funny because I almost had a meltdown going to work, and I was like, I said I can't do this. I can't. I had dropped some stuff over to your sister's house, and like I said, I can only see the kids through the window, and and it's so hard not to be able to say, oh hey, give me a hug or give me a kiss. No, I can't do that now.
Okay.
Or they want to come outside and see me, and it's like, no, you have to stay there. You can't come out, and they don't understand that. And for me, it's just like it's heartbreaking because I want to give them a hug and I want to give them a kiss. I want to see them, but I can't.
Hmm.
And then knowing that like knowing, your sister's still working. Well, both two of your sisters are still working too, and it's, what if one of them gets sick, and it's just all this, all these emotions. I think I haven't gone to my anger stage yet.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going through my grief right now. It's basically like mourning something that that you've lost. And this was my grief stage, because I almost did it again yesterday, and everybody's just kind of like, like they're looking at me because they never see me like this. I'm the one that makes people cry. Okay. I'm the mean person that makes people cry. And, and for me to be that vulnerable in front of other people, that's hard. And that's, that's taking a toll on me.
Yeah.
But, it's, you do what you got to do.
Yeah.
Basically, and that's how we were brought up. You do what you got to do, because you can't throw in the towel. It's just not going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
And it's funny because once I got into Johnstown, I don't know if you remember the Presbyterian church right there on Main Street.
Yeah.
I looked. And there was a sign, and it just kind of like, I think I needed to see that. I really needed to see it yesterday. And it said, make your faith greater than your fear.
Mm-hmm.
And I think, that's what I need to do. I mean, I need to have, and my faith's never wavered. Whatever, I may not be like, I don't go to church, but, I've always told you guys, my faith in God has always been great. And I said, he's going to get us through this.
Mm-hmm.
He'll get us through this, we'll be able to, come back to, some kind of normalcy, hopefully, in the near future.
Yeah. Okay.
But the hardest thing, is not being able to hold or hug anybody.
I guess.
Yeah.
I guess with my follow-up question on that, like, what would be the first thing that you would do when?
I'm gonna hug the shit out of everybody, man. I swear to God. I'm gonna hug them, and I'm gonna kiss them, and I'm gonna spread more germs on them.
I guess as far.
But that'll be the first thing.
Yeah.
I want to hold them. I mean, how Gabe he was always here.
Mm-hmm.
And he hasn't been here in a month and a half.
Mm-hmm.
And, that's like really like, we're just like, man, I miss my baby boy, He's not a little boy anymore. He's got that little, stash going on. But, I miss him. I miss having him here and him asking me for a grandma special sandwich, I'm going to make him all the grandma special sandwiches he wants when I see him.
Okay. I guess, is there anything else you want to mention? Like anything that you've seen, anything that you've noticed differently with people? Well, besides the whole, wearing the PPE, I guess the culture out there, essentially, like, I guess, essentially, like, humanity. How do you see humanity now?
I think people are being a little bit more cautious. Mm-hmm. You do have a lot of people that, are just trying to be like, hey, nothing's going on, trying to live, in that bubble, like, nothing's happening. But yeah, people are going to be a little bit more cautious, especially, around people that they don't know. Mm-hmm. You're not going to be as willing to shake that stranger's hand um, when you meet them the first time.
Yeah.
You know, um, it's that whole distancing thing.
Hmm.
It kind of makes you feel isolated sometimes.
Okay. Yeah.
And I think that's what I don't like is that feeling of isolation.
Okay.
And although I do get to go to work, I get to, but I limit on who is in our area too.
Yeah.
And I've told them, hey, if you have no business down here, don't come down here.
Yeah.
I don't want to see anybody, um, just coming to visit. No, we're working,
Yeah.
and that's basically it. So my world is basically, talking to everybody on FaceTime and seeing, chubby baby cheeks on my phone
Uh-huh.
that I can't squeeze,
Yeah.
to, Anthony and Grandma Joe. And
Yeah.
that's basically it, right? It's just us.
Yeah.
And, that was one of the reasons why we actually decided to bring her over here with us, because it was kind of like, it had us worried, what if, it still can happen because right now we're not even at our peak right now.
Yeah.
They're saying, we might not even, it might not peak until mid-May. Who knows? They don't know yet.
Yeah.
But, we were worried that, she was going to be by herself and she couldn't go anywhere.
Hmm.
What, I mean, she's 86 years old. And we made the suggestion, we suggested to her, why don't you come and stay with us until this is all over? And I was really surprised that she agreed, because she's used to her independence.
Yeah.
But she also realized that, she can't do it on her own a lot, by herself, I mean, she has a hard time sometimes getting around. And that was the one thing that has, worried is that, because she had a fall not too long before she came here. And she had to call the squad to come and help her up, because she couldn't get up. And finally, once we had her here, and, I think she kind of option for her, just stay here.
Yeah.
And because we said, I mean, we were actually going to do it like in the next 2-3 years if she didn't decide to do it now.
Yeah.
Move her in here. But yeah, she decided that she was gonna stay, and we were happy about it.
Yeah. Okay. Nice.
But yeah.
Okay.
So if you live closer, I'd give you a big sloppy kiss too.
Well, I'm at one end of the country, so or the southern end of the
Yeah.
country. I guess that's all my questions. Trying to think of what else I could ask, to be honest. Uh, no, that's it, really, to be honest with you. Those are all the questions I really have. Those were really some main ones that I did have. I guess just for the giggles, I guess what's your opinion on the US's response or their response time
Response.
to this crisis?
I'm disappointed in it.
Hmm.
I'll tell you truthfully. I'm not a Trump supporter. And I when I read that, that the original pandemic team had been disbanded,
Hmm.
when he got into office, is like, why? You never know. And this is the thing, you never know, that, but you never know if anything will ever happen.
Yeah.
But it's always good to be prepared.
Okay.
I'm disappointed in the I watched a lot of the videos and stuff, of the press conferences that he holds, and I mean, let's face it, our president isn't always the most truthful.
Excuse me.
So I'm disappointed, yeah, but I can't totally blame it on him. It's nobody's fault, really.
Yeah.
Just I think it could have been handled a little bit better, maybe, if you'd listened and paid attention from the get-go.
Yeah.
Back in like November,
Mm-hmm.
December, when this started happening in China. That's when he should have paid attention, really.
Okay.
When it first started happening, when you first, found out about it, don't just, because I heard it from, the president to like just about everybody. Oh, it'll go away. Everybody will be better. After how many people die, though, how many people actually have to die before it gets better?
Yeah.
But, that I can't say that responsibility falls on him, because we are our own people. We have free wills and free thinking. We can say, hey, and you've got your conspiracy theorists and stuff like that. It's interesting to listen to what they say, but you're just like, oh my God, what a crock of shit, It's. I mean, it's not like you have that WTF moment,
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it was just a little disappointing, and it was. I think it was just slow.
Yeah.
It was slow.
Okay.
But I will have to tell you though that the governor of Ohio, and he's not, like the most popular, I'm going to say, but the governor of Ohio has actually acted a lot more quickly than, let's say, other governors.
Okay.
He did everything that he possibly could, and to not overwhelm the healthcare system.
Okay.
Right now in Licking County alone, I think there's like 45 cases.
Okay. Yeah, I was about to ask you if you knew of any cases within Licking County or even within the whole state of Ohio, what the total was, or an approximation.
Yeah, there's actually Licking County is up to 45 cases. I know it's well over 2,000 confirmed.
Confirmed. Okay.
COVID-19 cases. Those are only confirmed. You still have hundreds that aren't confirmed.
Yeah.
And this is how you have to think, there's more. Yeah. There's more.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's only one county right now, and I believe that's Muskingum County, that only has one confirmed case right now.
Okay.
And that's like one of the least ones.
Yeah.
Because even Knox County has, I think, like 5 or 6 confirmed cases, and one of them just passed away, I believe, either yesterday or Wednesday. He passed away. He was a 90-some-year-old man.
Okay.
He didn't pass away in the state. He was living in Florida, but he was a resident in Knox County.
Oh, okay.
So they did actually count it as a Knox County death.
Huh. Okay.
But yeah, right now there's, like I said, the 45 confirmed cases in Licking County. I'm not sure on the death toll or anything like that. I don't like looking at the death toll. But I mean, it's always good to see that, there's like over 200,000 people that have, recovered.
Yeah.
I'd rather see the recoveries than the death tolls.
Yeah.
but yeah, that's like I said, Governor DeWine's been, I think he's done a really good job,
Okay.
and I'd vote for him next time. I'm not a Republican now.
Okay.
And then I could have wine with DeWine,
Yeah.
if I drank wine.
Awesome. Well, all right.
Maybe we should have a photo on that to go with that.
All right. Well, thank you, Mom, for answering my questions. I guess I'll just stop
You're
the
very welcome.
recording and all that stuff. Hopefully, like I said in my video, that hopefully is going around on YouTube. Whatever social media platforms are out there. I'm just trying to make a primary source, a secondary source that future scholars can use to study this crisis. So that way they don't have to keep
Exactly.
they don't have to keep
Exactly.
looking, or this isn't just a medical thing. This is a psychological thing. This is a historical thing. This is
It is.
an education thing. So hopefully
It is.
in the future, somebody can use this information. So, but thank you, Mom. So,
And I've told several people, like, this is going to blow over. No, I said, this is history right now.
mhm.
This is going to go along with, the Spanish flu of the early 1900s. This is going to go along with, the Black Plague. This is going to be written. This is in the history books. Our great grandchildren, grandchildren will be learning about this if they don't live it right now.
Mhm.
They're going to be learning about it. They'll hear about it, and it's just history in the making. It's all. That's how we have to see it.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah.
Anywho.
Anyways, yeah. So, anyways, I'll stop my recording.